Welcome to Brave Voice English. Listen, read, and learn English with short stories. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin.
A day at the market. The sun rose gently over the small town of Willowbrook, spilling golden light across the narrow streets and waking the sleepy houses one by one. In the heart of the town, the marketplace was beginning to stir with life. The air was crisp with the fresh scent of morning dew mixed with the faint smell of baked bread and ripe fruit. It was the day of the weekly market, a day that every villager looked forward to, not just to buy and sell goods, but to see friends and share stories. Maya, a young woman with warm brown eyes and a bright smile, stepped out of her small cottage, carefully pulling her shawl tighter around her shoulders. The market was her favorite place in the world. She loved the vibrant colors, the laughter, the smells, and the endless chatter. Today, she was not just a visitor but a seller. With a basket full of fresh eggs from her chickens, homemade bread, and jars of honey, Maya made her way toward the marketplace. The streets were already bustling with people. Farmers pushed carts piled high with vegetables and fruits, artisans carried baskets of handcrafted pottery, fishermen held cages with shimmering fish freshly caught from the nearby river. The market was alive with the sounds of bargaining voices, children's laughter, and the rhythmic clatter of wooden wheels on cobblestones. Maya set up her small stall beneath a large oak tree that gave the perfect shade. She arranged her goods neatly on a woven cloth, placing the golden honey jars so that the sunlight made them glow like little suns. Her bread, still warm from the oven, filled the air with a comforting aroma. The eggs were packed carefully in straw, safe from breaking. As the market grew livelier, an old man approached her stall. His face was lined with years of sun and wind, but his eyes sparkled with kindness. He wore a worn hat and carried a leather satchel. "Good morning, Maya," he said in a deep but gentle voice. "Good morning, Mr. Thomas," Maya replied, smiling. "Would you like some fresh bread? It just came out of the oven." The old man nodded and picked up a loaf. "It smells wonderful. I'll take 2, please." As Mr. Thomas handed her some coins, a group of children ran past, chasing one another with carefree joy. One little girl tripped and nearly fell but was caught just in time by her mother. Maya watched them, remembering how she used to run through the market as a child, her heart full of excitement and wonder. Near Maya's stall, a loud voice rose above the crowd. "Fresh fish! Fresh fish! Just caught this morning from the river," called Jonas, the fisherman. His cart was full of silver-scaled fish glinting in the sunlight. People gathered around, inspecting the fish and bargaining hard. Maya's eyes wandered to the colorful stalls across the way. There was Lila, the potter, shaping clay into beautiful bowls and vases. Her hands moved skillfully and gracefully, turning the rough earth into art. Beside her, the spice merchant displayed piles of vibrant powders and dried herbs, their scents mingling in the warm air. Suddenly, a commotion broke out near the entrance. A young boy was crying, lost in the crowd. His small hands clutched a torn piece of cloth. "Where is your mother?" a kind woman asked him. The boy sniffled. "I don't know. I was playing and then I couldn't find her." Maya quickly left her stall and went over to the boy. She knelt down and looked into his teary eyes. "Don't worry. We'll find her. What's your name?" "Tommy." "Tommy, can you tell me what your mother looks like?" The boy described a woman with dark hair and a blue dress. Maya nodded. "Okay, Tommy, stay close to me. I'll ask around." She called out to the crowd, describing the boy and asking if anyone had seen his mother. Several people stopped to help, and soon a search party formed. After a few minutes, a woman hurried toward them, her face filled with worry. When she saw Tommy, her eyes lit up. "Oh, Tommy, there you are," she exclaimed, hugging him tightly. Maya smiled, feeling the warmth of the reunion. The woman thanked her gratefully and took Tommy's hand. As the excitement died down, Maya returned to her stall. Business had picked up, and more customers were stopping by. A group of farmers from the outskirts of town bought eggs and honey in bulk, praising the quality. Maya's heart swelled with pride. Nearby, an elderly woman approached, carrying a basket filled with fresh flowers. Her hair was silver, tied neatly in a bun, and her eyes held wisdom and kindness. "Good morning, dear," she said softly. "Your bread smells delightful. Would you have any left?" "Good morning, Mrs. Evelyn," Maya replied warmly. "Yes, I have some just baked today." Mrs. Evelyn selected a loaf and handed Maya a few coins. "You always bring such goodness to the market. It reminds me of my younger days." They talked briefly about the changing seasons and the beauty of the town, enjoying the simple pleasure of human connection. As noon approached, the sun climbed high in the sky, casting bright light over the marketplace. The heat made the shadows under the trees all the more inviting. Maya sipped some water from her flask and looked around. She noticed a man struggling to carry a large sack. Without hesitation, she rose and walked over to help. "Let me give you a hand," she said. The man smiled gratefully. "Thank you. I'm new to the market and didn't expect the roads to be so rough." Together, they carried the sack to the man's stall, which was filled with sacks of grains and seeds. He introduced himself as Henry, a grain merchant from a nearby village. They chatted for a while, sharing stories of farming and life in the countryside. Maya learned that Henry had recently moved to the area to start a new life and was slowly making friends. The market was not just a place for goods, but for stories and friendships. Suddenly, music began to fill the air. A group of musicians had set up near the center, playing lively tunes on flutes, drums, and fiddles. People began to gather, clapping and dancing. Children joined in the dance, their faces glowing with happiness. Even the elders tapped their feet and smiled. Maya couldn't help but sway to the rhythm. For a moment, the worries of everyday life melted away, replaced by joy and community spirit. As the afternoon sun began to soften, a traveling storyteller arrived. He carried a leather-bound book and a small bag of props. Setting up under a large tree, he called the crowd to gather. He began to tell tales of faraway lands, brave heroes, and magical creatures. His voice was rich and captivating, painting pictures in the minds of his listeners. Maya sat down among the crowd, enchanted by the stories. Children leaned forward eagerly, eyes wide with wonder. After the storytelling, the market began to slow down. Sellers packed up their unsold goods, and customers made their last purchases. Maya counted her earnings and packed away the empty baskets. She felt tired but happy. As the sun dipped low, casting a warm orange glow, the market emptied, leaving only the footprints of a busy day behind. Walking home, Maya felt grateful for the simple joys of the day, the smell of fresh bread, the laughter of children, the kindness of strangers, and the beauty of a community coming together. She knew that tomorrow, and every market day after, the town of Willowbrook would once again burst to life in this magical way. And that was a day truly well spent.